Okay, this video's got it all. We've got Hell difficulties 6 through 8, 5 new legendary gems. We've got new cross-class cosmetic skins. We've got, man, what else? Guaranteed set item drops, 250% boosted drops for legendary and set items for people below Paragon levels. We have a Paragon level setting of 320 to servers that are below it still. New Helliquary bosses, new zone, new storyline. We got a bunch of stuff. Watch the full video. Let's get going. This is it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what we've been waiting for. The full official English patch notes. We have 5 new legendary gems. We have holiday events, new zone, new quest line, recruit a friend, season 8 events. We have something called the Sacred Wilds Phantom Market. I don't know any of this. Let's get going and let's give some reaction and some review of the kind of my initial impressions. Keep in mind one thing before we get going. December 14th is when this arrives. The second this is out, I'm going to be live streaming. That means I'll probably be live around, I would assume, 5 p.m. EST, let's say, and I will be on twitch.tv/microtransaction playing my hearts out for that. Let's get going and see what's going on. Crash in the House minions in Tear's Tide. Good Tide adventurers. Welcome to the Tear's Tide, our second major update for Diablo Immortal. This update is packed with a slew of changes to existing content and systems, as well as new content such as Stormpoint Zone, Voidwound Helliquary, and more. Okay, hoist up your courage before you're going to need it in Stormpoint and our post-launch zone. Players will sail to the salt-scrubbed prison islands to investigate a sinister plot. One of the world's largest stone shards has overtaken the island. Find out you can embark on the new quest line and watch our developers reveal more details about it in see our Stormpoint section. Okay, so this is just kind of explaining it. We want to take a moment to thank you for reaching out on this monumental milestone. It is an understatement to say this would be impossible to achieve without you, our community, and the incredible feedback many of you have provided since the Diablo Immortal launch 6 months ago. Here's to many more content updates. Before we dig into this major update, because of the incoming holidays, we will not release a content update in 2 weeks as we traditionally have. Our next content update will come out in early January of 2023, aka major update. The year will go by. We're gonna hit the end of the year here, January, next update. My birthday's in January, so I hope we have a good one in January. As with previous content updates, there will be a server maintenance, etc. All items mentioned below will be live. Specific dates for any content going live for the provided below. Okay, here we go. Feature updates. Number 1, introducing Hell difficulties 6, 7, and 8. Let's go. So we got new difficulties. 3 additional Hell difficulties have been added to aid players in raising their Paragon level to never before achieved heights. In the Hell difficulties menu, you will see Hell difficulties 6 through 8 are new options. If battling the strongest nightmare, the walk through Hell's Gate seems intimidating, don't worry. Our new server Paragon level experience and loot bonuses will elevate you to Hell 6 promptly. So they're giving us some buffs here. Let's scroll down and see what we got. Daily activities. We received a great deal of feedback from players stating they felt the legendary and set item drops did not drop often enough. Yes, absolutely correct. To address this, we're incorporating them seamlessly into daily activities so that players may have more opportunities to receive these type of items. Following changes have been made. Bounty chests will now have a higher chance to drop legendary items. Thank you. Completing a bestiary quest will now guarantee a legendary item upon the first turn in each day. Completing 3 dungeons will now reward a guaranteed set item once per day. The set item will be rewarded via the codex. So effectively, every single day, do 3 dungeons, get your green item minimum. That's what they're saying here. Okay, so it looks like that's once per day. So below server Paragon system, to help prepare all adventurers for the dangers awaiting them in the new Stormpoint zone, man, I'm butchering these today, I'm sorry. We have made some adjustments to the experiences of catching up to server Paragon levels. All server Paragon levels below 320 will be set to server Paragon level of 320. Wait, all servers below is... Oh, okay, I read that wrong. So if your server's too new and it's below 320, it's going to automatically be set to 320. The maximum experience rewards for being below server Paragon is increased from 400% to 800%. This is why I was explaining in one of my previous videos. It's going to happen. The chance to receive legendary and set items has been increased by 250%. For players far below the server Paragon level. As a player gets closer to the Paragon level, these increased drop rates will decrease. So this is sort of what I was mentioning before. Might almost be better to be significantly below the Paragon level and have a high combat rating if you can do that. But anyway, we're going to see how it plays out once the game comes out, okay? 250% increase. That means if you're way behind and you haven't been playing the game for a while, you'll be able to catch up. Let's look at this. New Paragon trees. So these are the 3 new Paragon trees. Let's see if these are the leaked ones we looked at here. It's called Massacre, Brawler, and Duelist. We recognize that these new Paragon trees are locked behind specific Paragon levels, make them feel more time-gated and doesn't necessarily feel like you've earned them once they're unlocked. As part of this update, we are shifting Paragon trees to unlock at different hell difficulties to help hell difficulties feel more rewarding and allow players skill instead of grind time to provide early access to Paragon trees. That's interesting, so I'm not really sure how that's going to play out. Let's see how this plays out. Players that have already unlocked existing Paragon trees will have those trees unlocked after the update, and in every case, players should be able to unlock a new Paragon tree sooner than they... Okay, so effectively, they're trying to make Paragon easier, not harder. Massacre focuses on increasing your efficiencies. You rack up kills and raise your kill streak counter. Brawler focuses on bolstering defense against elite enemies, while in a party it's shared. Duelist focuses on utilizing skills to stack damage bonuses. You must avoid taking damage to maintain these bonuses. In the event you do receive damage, all the power buildup will erupt outward in static discharge. So I do believe I'm 100% familiar with what all these skills are going to be. I do have a video covering this. It's called 3 Leaked Paragon Trees. You can go watch it if you want. It breaks this down in its entirety and shows the skills itself. We have also adjusted the way the cheat death works. Its cooldown has been increased from 120 to 210 seconds. That's interesting. Let's see what the note is. Cheat's death effect is extremely potent in PvP. We want deaths to have more meaning. Our intention is that increasing the cooldown will lead to fewer situations where multiple cheat death effects are all stacked together to provide long periods of immunity to dying. I'm going to be honest, I don't do a lot of PvP, so I can't say for a fact that I've ever really noticed this being a problem. This should lead to more consistent skirmishes in the battleground where players' death usually actually results in a death. Okay, so they're basically trying to balance out PvP a little bit. This change should not have any real impact in other game modes where engagements won't last long enough to see as a second use of cheat death. Got it. Monk skills. So they're retweaking the monk. Look at this. We recognize the skill unlock order for monk puts some situational skills such as Shield of Zen and Inner Sanctuary too early in the leveling experience, so that players don't often find a use for these skills until late game. To address this, we've adjusted the unlocks levels for several skills so that players can experiment with more offensive skills earlier in the leveling process. We hope this provides players with an additional meaningful choices and allows them to experiment with their offensive skills to find a playstyle they enjoy. So they've changed Wave of Light, Exploding Palm, Flying Dragon to be earlier, and the shield buffs, etc. to be later. That's fine. Additionally, we have tuned some underused skills. Okay, let's see what this is. Flying Kick's range was increased, cooldown was reduced, and it will apply to all the legendary effects. The Cyclone's charge time was reduced to half a second, and the radius was increased. That's actually a good move. Wave Strike's charge was so this is all buffs across the board. Waves of Light damage was increased. Exploding Palm debuff now also causes enemies to bleed. What? That's insane. Bleed effect will be applied to all legendary effects. That's great. Exploding Palm was already a good move. Deadly's Reach attack area was increased and does full damage to your primary target and 30% of damage to all other enemies. Wow. So they're actually wanting to, they just buffed the monk. So they're specifically targeting monk players. Monk players will be very happy about that. Set items. After a review of our current set items, we've determined Vithu's Urge 4-piece set bonus provided double the attack speed compared to what's in-game description stated. I was wondering about that. We fixed this set, so now it provides the intended 30% attack speed. Since this particular set was overwhelming by significant amounts, we wanted to create more parity between it and the other sets. In this same vein, we included a few other sets that could benefit from tuning too. We've changed the following set bonuses. Let's see what they did. So 1,000 wins. Win in combat, increase your movement speed to 15%. Deactivates for 2 seconds if you take damage. Okay. The Isitar imbued, each time you defeat an enemy, you gain 30% increased movement speed. It increases all damage done from all sources to enemies suffering under your loss of control. Is actually nuts for the Feasting Barons. 20% increase if they're CC'd. That's going to be really interesting because if in PvP, I could see the CC bots now building this in particular. So you CC somebody and all the wells do more damage because it's from all sources, not just your sources. Really interesting, but let's keep going. We got a lot to dig through here. Hero's Journey. Following the maintenance window, all current Hero's Journey Chapter 1 through 6 will be paused. A new Hero's Journey will begin. Only Chapter 1 through 4 will be available for the new Hero's Journey, with Chapter 5 and 6 coming later. They're kind of reworking the Hero's Journey. To ease completion, we removed all zoned event tasks from Hero's Journey. While completing their chapter, adventurers will receive a bevy of rewards. Once Chapter 4 is completed, they will receive a Boundary Walker portrait frame, a token of triumph. Hero's Journey is available for about 6 months. Similar to the first iteration, we will update you once we have an exact end date. Here we go. Shadow War. Players that become the Immortal in Shadow World will now receive a new stamina mechanic. Interesting. Whenever they move throughout the battle, the stamina bar will begin to drain. So effectively what they hate here is, okay, so I can already explain what this is here. The stamina bar will begin to recharge only when the Immortal stands completely still. So at the moment in Shadow PvP, it's effectively run as fast as you can. Can't catch me, I'm the gingerbread man. That's what's going on here. And I could read the developer notes, but I absolutely believe this is what's going on because trust me, I've spent a lot of time as the Immortal. You just run. Dungeons. There is now a blacksmith located at the end of all dungeons. Ancient Elites now randomly appear in dungeons. Yes, remember your first Ancient Elite kill of the day guarantees a legendary item drop. So now you have a chance to get more legendary items because we're going to have Ancient Elites in dungeons also. A waypoint has been added to the next Cavern of Echoes dungeon. There's one other thing I would have seen liked if they're tuning this. Add Monster Essence into the dungeon so we can turn in with the Bestiary for that new guaranteed system. That would have been great. Let's continue. Charms, increase the chance to roll a 10% modifier while imbuing charms. Okay, here we go. The new cool shit. New zone, questline, Stormpoint. Once the player has reached Hell Difficulty 3, has completed the Star Sign quest, and is at least level 60, they may travel to Stormpoint. Diablo Immortal's first post-launch zone. Battered by rainfall and caked in mist, the island has long been used as a clandestine prison. You like how I can get that word, but like normal words I can't even know? Prison to house Sanctuary's worst of the worst and political prisoner Diablo's servants, the Cult of Terror, are sieging the point in order to attempt to retrieve the largest world stone, putting your sinister plan to rest. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Watch out for the Howling Terror. Okay, where can we get into this? This zone contains a main storyline. Ooh, what is happening? YouTube.com server's IP address cannot be found. Is that true? Can we refresh this? Try this again. There we go. Dev update. Let's see what the dev update has to say. Let me get my headset here off the floor. And let's play this. See what we got. We got... Oh, wow.
Hey, everyone. I'm Joe Grubb, lead game designer on Diablo Immortal.
Cool.
I'm pleased to invite you into this closer look at our next major update, Terror's Tide. This update includes new hidden layers, bounties, side quest, plus a completely new storyline, all set in our first post-launch zone, Stormpoint. Stormpoint is an island prison where Westmarch sends its most dangerous and politically sensitive prisoners.
Politically sensitive prisoners.
One of its largest chunks arrived at Stormpoint, and it's wreaking havoc on the whole island. And to give us a deep dive into what awaits our players, I'll pass it over to...
Okay.
I'm Ryan Quinn.
Hey, what up, Ryan? Kind of skip through this just a little bit.
And I'm Scott Burgess. I'm senior game designer. The World Stone Shard has fallen in the ocean.
Okay, so let's get...
When they arrive to Stormpoint, where they have
There's a bunch of lore stuff.
These monsters with
shipwrecks and wood rot.
Here we go.
And crawling crabs.
Spiders.
Crabs everywhere.
Ah, crabs. You guys want to know something? So this is actual factual. This is not a meme. I don't have any. You know how people have like these weird fears where they're unreasonable or unlogical fears where the person itself knows it doesn't make sense. The only one of those I have is a crab. Like they walk sideways with the big legs. And I don't know why. In games, they don't bother me. Okay, games are fine. But like in person, if I'm on the beach and I see a big crab, it actually literally bothers me. I don't know why. And it bothers me that it bothers me.
Horses, they'll surround you.
Sounds like my actual nightmare.
Torment you with their ranged attacks.
And they taste terrible.
Yeah, I don't like crab taste either.
The summoning of
okay, so we have like a summoning here.
Blasts. I love that guy.
Ooh, this looks good.
That guy.
Big boy.
His attacks will fall most painfully on the outskirts.
Okay, so this is mostly lore stuff.
In this area?
It's got to be just the baseline terror zealot.
So that's like the normal looking guy. So it's like a zombie monk.
Are very, very different from Diablo.
Okay.
We've got harbingers, which are these big bat-winged
pretty cool looking.
Zone control you all over the place.
Sorry guys, don't mean to skip through all your stuff, but this is a long video, and it's not really talking about details of the game notes. It's mostly lore stuff, so I'm just kind of poking through here.
At the heart of our story, when the thing that made your
okay, so there's that video. If you want to watch the rest of the video, you can find it on the Diablo official page. I'm not going to go through all the lore stuff right now. I want to see what the changes to the game actually are. Okay, Brum Latine limited time holiday event. Cool, so we got a tree. What do we got here? This is lore stuff, so we're going to skip that. From December 14th to January 4th server time, you can show your adoration for continued warmth and safety during the limited time holiday event. Each day, players can complete up to 3 tasks in exchange for snow-dusted rewards and progress towards grander rewards. Each weekend, players can log in to receive celebratory gifts. Players can also participate in the tradition of trading greeting cards with friends. So they're just doing like a fun in-game event, okay? I wouldn't expect major stuff. It's mostly probably going to be fun. New cosmetic set. Okay, so they're trying to do cosmetic sets that look similar sort of to the new zone is what it looks like. It seems like it's in line with kind of that lore and stuff. Pretty cool looking. Doesn't really look like holiday skins, I'm going to be honest. Looks significantly more like, this looks like Halloween skins. More than it looks like Christmas skins. Okay, moving on here. Voidwound Helliquary. So we have a new Helliquary boss. Pretty cool looking in the back. It looks like a giant crab person. So this is really going to be a crab update. This update was not designed for your boy. Okay, long ago, the witches sealed away the darkness, blah, blah, blah. Helliquary. Let's see, what does it say? The expansion of the Helliquary brings with some exciting changes. Raids may now be soloed across all difficulties. Took them 6 months, but they listened to that. The difficulty of each boss was significantly increased with each hell difficulty. The triumph over evil, we recommend recruiting all your allies to your cause. Interesting. With each hell difficulty. So I see. So maybe they're saying they're adding more difficulties to these, because at the moment it doesn't scale upon hell difficulties. It scales upon like whatever combat rating, and you can just kind of bump them up. To unlock new hell difficulties in Diablo Immortal, you must defeat the corresponding Helliquary bosses. Okay, got it. I see. So you have to be bosses in order to even get to the next hell difficulties. That's how you're unlocking them now, not just by going to that difficulty. Players may now party up across hell 1 to 4 difficulties. That's interesting too. Dungeon will drop. Difficulty will scale to each party member's hell difficulty respectively. So effectively what this means is that players who are playing catch-up can play catch-up with much more people. I think this was a smart change. There's people getting caught in each difficulty, and the game feels empty if you're stuck in these difficulties alone. That's a smart change, actually. Demonic remains have also been reworked in the following ways. Demonic remains will now drop after the boss is slain. You will only receive your first 5 kills. Resets Monday, Thursday. Trophies tab now contains various slots for you to assign these remains to. Each demonic remain provides various bonuses to challenge rifts when placed in a slot. Previously, you could only have 1. Now you may have up to 5. That's going to significantly help in challenge rifts. The attributes provided by each remain will scale to the hell difficulty you received it from. So, okay, so this is giving you incentive to read. This, what they're doing here is they're trying to give incentive to farm the Helliquary bosses and get them at higher difficulties instead of just one and done, basically, because this part's a little uninteractive in the game. Interesting. Here's how to unlock the hell difficulties 1 through 5. Unlocks hell difficulty 1, unlocks hell difficulty 2, 4, 5, etc. So you just need to go through and beat these. Let's continue. Hellish tears run amok in the sanctuary. Meet your new lieutenant of hell. So Opheneb is alone among the Voidwound demons. So this is the new boss, I think. She wears and sheds lifelike clothing, but what to end? Upon her arrival in sanctuary, she laired in a long-term fortress. Over the years, to accumulate decoration. Does she aspire something else, or is she merely a hunter hiding in human skin? So basically, we have a new boss. Okay, that's what that's saying. Here's another new boss. Okay, so we have one. Let's see. We see felling her will unlock hell difficulty 6. So we have to kill this boss in order to get to hell difficulty 6. That's what they're telling us. Moving on. We have another boss here. Something about Shadow Age. So there's some lore with each of them. But we have how many new bosses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new bosses. Okay? 5 new bosses. And these 5 new bosses will unlock all the way up to hell difficulty 8. We'll see those when they come in the game. Here we go. Speaking of 5 new legendary gems. Woo! Okay. Legendary gems are an integral part of character's build. To equip players with additional options, we have added 5 new legendary gems to Diablo Immortal. For 3 weeks after release, players will have the option to enable a modified table for their legendary crests when running Elder Rift. With the modified drop enabled, anytime a 5-star drop drops, has 25 chance to be a concentrated will and 25 chance to be a Hellfire Fragment legendary gem. So 5 new legendary gems. It sounds like 2 of these are the 5-star ones, okay? So they're giving us another boosted drop rate for those ones in case you want to. And you don't have to participate in that boosted drop rate, but you can if you want to. Let's see here. We have seen players come up with some rather unique builds using previously released legendary gems and cannot wait to see what the community cooks up with this batch. The below values for each gem reflect their rank 10 values. Okay, so this is fully maxed out version. So a 1-star gem called the Heartstone, the duration of your absorb shields are increased by 36% and also reduce the loss of control effects while active by 24%. Interesting. Okay, a shield-based one. Kersling, you have a 15% chance when attacked to release a burst of lightning that blinds all nearby enemies, reducing their vision and causing total loss of control for 4 seconds. That's ridiculous. cannot occur more often than once every 20 seconds, which is a pretty low cooldown if it's 4 seconds. You also deal 14% increased damage to blind enemies. That is an amazing 2-star gem. Really good. Volatile Shard 2-star gem. When you defeat an enemy, you trigger an explosion dealing 90% base damage plus 365 to all nearby enemies while granting yourself 8% increased damage for 2 seconds. Well, this is another good one, dude. 8% increased damage and you get an AoE like a corpse explosion. Wow, that's pretty good. So far, these gems are, I mean, the 2- and 1-star gems are all like kind of fire. Concentrate Will, 5-star gem. Using a dash skill calls a guardian angel to your aid, unleashing a blast of holy light in the direction, dealing 135% base plus 547 to all enemies in the path. When the guardian angel returns to high heavens, it blesses you, increasing your damage and movement speed by 16% for 2 seconds. Wait a minute. So it's just a flat out better bottled hope? Wait, hold on. Isn't that just literally a better bottled hope? Holy moly. Oh, man. As someone who my best gem's a bottled hope, that almost feels bad, but that's actually an insane gem. We're going to talk about that one. I guess you do have to have a dash skill, not a buff skill, so it is a little bit different. Continuing here. Hellfire Fragment, 5-star gem. Using a skill conjures 3 Hellfire blazes around you. Seek out enemies within 6 yards, exploding on them, dealing base damage plus damage. Enemies struck by multiple Hellfire blazes take 50% additional damage from subsequent hits. So this is similar to Ari's W from League of Legends. Like you have these orbs that go around and homing on somebody. If multiple hit them, you do more damage. There's a Barber now, and you can customize your face. This is really cool. So now we'll be able to actually do a difference in face. So if you locked in and you don't like it, players can receive a complimentary recustomization every 7 days. So not just once, but every 7 days, like class change. Pretty generous, honestly. That's a nice quality of life. There's the Recruit a Friend system, which is coming to the game. And let's see here, House Servants numbers mini, and we'll stop at nothing. Okay, so we have some lore stuff. December 14th through the 11th, revel in the spirit with new friends. So Recruit a Friend. They get a unique code to be recruited. You must be playing on a new character created on December 14th or after, be under level 20, and have completed the introduction to Diablo Immortal. Got it. So you have to get recruited, make the character, complete the introduction. If you want to recruit a player who meets the requirements, share the code with them. If they redeem your code, they are officially recruited. You may recruit a total of 3 players using this method. Both the recruiter and recruit will receive various rewards as the recruiter levels up and complete the task. If you want to be the person who I recruit, when this comes out, I will do a recruitment leak and we will let 3 people be the people that get to be recruited. Continuing here, rewards for the recruiters. Share your code. Once I get some enchanted dust, some rare crests, normal gems, 1 legendary crest, 3 rare crests, 1 legendary crest, 3 rare crests, some normal gems, and then the Grim Fellowship portrait frame, 2 legendary crests and 9 rare crests. So in the total of 4 legendary crests, it looks like, and is that a total of, let's see, 15, another 6, 21 rare crests. The new people get 10k gold, random legendary, 6 rares, 2 enchanted dust, 30 scrap, 5k gold. Honestly, they could have buffed the ones for the new recruits. That's not that great. Season 8 Battle Pass. Look at that skin, kind of cool looking. So I'm not going to bother reading this because this is literally just saying, hey, there's going to be another battle pass. The battle pass are always identical. The only change is the cosmetic, which that is. So that's all the information we need. Another Hungry Moon is coming back. They're not changing anything about the Hungry Moon, it looks like. It's the same. So let's continue. Here we go. Sacred Wild's Phantom Market. So what is this? Sacred Wilds. Oh, look at that. So you can get some skins, is what it looks like. The Phantom Market, Diablo Immortal's version of the Lucky Draw mechanic, is an additional way for players to acquire new cosmetic sets, weapon cosmetics, emojis, and more. Using oboes, a new currency exclusive to the Phantom Market, players will be able to purchase the ability to draw 1 item at random from the available item pool. There are 10 items in total, and each can only be acquired once. Each time you draw an item, the cost of it will increase. Performing 10 draws guarantee you receive all items, including the Sacred Wilds cosmetic set, which is what this is. This is our first cross-class cosmetic set, which once acquired can be used on all Diablo Immortal classes. Okay, well, if you can do it for 1, you can do it for all of the cosmetics. Just saying. This cosmetic is also boasts a unique cosmetic emoji, tailored visual effects when you rack up kill streaks, and a thorough flourishes while moving and standing still. So this is like a big boy updated version of the cosmetic, basically. You can purchase these with Eternal Orbs. So the new currency is purchased with Eternal Orbs, and any unspent oboes will be converted into platinum once the Phantom Market event ends. Players will receive enough oboes for a first free draw. So everyone's going to get one draw for free. But this is something that you do have to purchase. This is not a free-to-play thing. This is like you buy, it's a cosmetic that you're buying. Because items from the market are acquired randomly per draw, we want to provide players with the initial draw rates for each item to aid in deciding if they would like to engage with the event past their first free draw. Let me read that again. Because they're acquired randomly per draw, we want to provide players with the initial draw rates for each. Oh, okay. So they're actually saying here's the draw rates. So on your draws, it's 30% for emoji, 30% for this emoji, 8% for 8.13 for each one of these cosmetics. The Winged Darkness Azure cosmetic is 2.5%. The Sacred Portals cosmetic 2.2, and literally the cosmetic set is 0.14% chance. So if you have one draw, you ain't gonna get it. Effectively, what this means is that you have to do 10 of these draws if you want the cosmetic set. You got to buy it out, basically. So while it's kind of cool that they have this, my initial impression of this in particular is it's just calculate out how many draws you have to do, and that's what it's going to cost to get the set. I would assume that getting all of this in order to just, like, the bummer part about this is if you can't just buy this skin, in order to get this skin now, you basically have to buy all this garbage with it. Like, I don't want to pay for an emoji, but you're basically going to have to in order to be able to get it. And I guarantee you that it's going to be more expensive than just buying a cosmetic typically. That being said, they did say this is a special cosmetic that's going to have some kill streak bonuses and all kinds of stuff. So take that for what you will. And then there's some bug fixes, which I'm not going to go to in this video because we're already 25 minutes into this video. But let's talk about the big W's and the big L's in this patch. Okay, so first and foremost, I think the biggest W out of all of these is probably the new zone and quest line. So we have a new zone, new quest line, new bosses, new hell difficulties. We also have, I think the thing that I like is some of these new gems look quite good, especially these 2-star gems, which are free to play viable 2-star gems. And these are good gems. Like, these aren't bad 2-star gems by any means. So that seems quite good. The West March Barber is just a nice quality of life free thing for the people. So this is kind of some free quality of life cosmetic type of stuff, which is pretty nice. The Recruited Friend will factually give us some more free resources. And then after that, we're really looking at, check this out, the majority of this is going to be the hell difficulties. And also, this is a nice W where we guarantee legendary drop items. 3 guarantees us a set item. We're going to be getting ancient elites as well in the dungeons. This is going to be pretty exciting. I'm going to be live streaming this on the 14th, twitch.tv/DarthMicrotransaction, 5 p.m. EST as soon as go live. You can catch me there. Let me know what you think about these patch notes. A lot of changes, a lot of things added. It's going to take me a minute to go through all of this and figure all of this out. I do have a video on these new Paragon trees. I'll put it at the end here. You can watch if you want it. Thumb up if you like the video, or like the video if you like the video, I suppose. Subscribe if you ever want to see me or my content again, and I'll see you on the next one.